Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem number 1075, project employees 1, right? So what the question states here, we have to write the SQL query to report the average experience years of all the employees for each product, that is rounded to 2 decimal places, right? So again I'm telling, we have to write the SQL query to report the average experience years of all the employees for each project. So that's what we need to do. Average experience years of all the employees for each project, rounded to 2 decimal places. So here we have they have given the hint that we will be making use of, or we should make use of the round keyword, right? In the MySQL we can just make use of the round keyword here, as we have to round to 2 decimal places here in this case, right? So again I'm telling, so we have to write the SQL query to report the average experience years of all the employees for each project, that is rounded to 2 decimal places here. So here you can clearly see we have been given a project as well as the employee table. So project here, this one consists of the project ID as well as the employee ID column, and both are of the type integer, and the employee consists of your column name and type. Here this one, employee ID, name and experience years, these three things, which is of the type employee ID is of the type integer, and experience years is of the type integer as well, and name is of the type varchar here, and name is of the type varchar here. I hope this is clear, right? So let's go with the example 1 here in this case. So we have the project ID and the employee ID. You can clearly see here, this is coming from the project table. 1 111 22. Here in this case, employee ID we have 12314. So employee table also we have, where we have employee ID, name and experience. Yes, in this case 1234 Ali, John and Doe. The names they have given here, employee name, and 3213 is experience. Yes. So we need to find the average experience years of all the employees for the each project that we need to find here, right? So in this case, the average experience years for the first project is 3 plus 2 plus 1 here in this case. 3 plus 2 plus 1. 3 plus 2 plus 1 by 3, which is nothing but in this case 2, right? This is for the first project. This is for the first project here. Sorry, no, I considered this one, right? I got confused here. This one. Employee ID 321. This is for the first project. You can clearly see here. Project ID 1. So this one we are considering 3 plus 2 plus 1 is nothing but here 6. 6 by 3. 3 we have, right? So here 3 projects. So this will be 6 by 3. In my opinion, it will be 2, right? Yeah, this is fine. And the second project we have here is 2. This one, 2 project IDs we have. 4 plus 1 is nothing but 5. 5 we have 2 here. So in this case, 4 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 5 by 2. In this case, 5 by 2 is 2.5. 2.50. We have to round off to 2 decimal places. They have asked in the question clearly. So the solution will be 2.50. So we need to return the project ID and the average years in this case. So 1 and 2. So we have project IDs here 1 and 2. Only 2 projects we have. So employee ID here 1, 2, 3. So this one by 2 and this one by 2. So here in this case we got 2.00 and 2.50. I hope the question is completely clear. What we need to do is completely clear as well. So let's discuss the approach first, then let's write the query. Here the first step here, or the first step in the approaches will be, we have to join the tables here. So we will be making use of the inner join. Why? Because we have to link the project table and employee table using the employee ID. So again I'm telling, we will be making use of the inner join here. Why we will be making use of inner join here? This case, so we have to link the project table as well as the employee table using employee ID. So that's what we need to do, right? So we have discussed this one in the question already. That is the reason we'll be going with the inner join. So inner join suits here because we need to link the project table and employee table using employee ID. So let's move on with the second step here. Nothing but grouping the data here. So we have to group the data. Let's see the same thing here. So we will use group by clause here. Why we'll be making use of the group by clause here? On project ID. So we will be making use of group by on project ID to calculate the average experience years on for each project. So again I'm telling, we will be going with group by on project ID here to calculate the average experience years, to calculate the average experience years for each project. So to calculate the average experience years for each project here, this is very important. So we will make use of group by on project ID to calculate the average experience for each project. So this is very important. So let's move on with the third step here, nothing but round result. So we have to round to 2 decimal places. That is the reason we have already discussed this one. We will be making use of the round keyword. So we'll be making use of the round keyword to round the average to 2 decimal places. So I hope this is clear. Let's move on with the fourth step here, selecting the output. So we have to select the project ID and calculate the average years. So we have to select the project ID, right? So we had 11122, if you remember. So we have to consider 1 and 2, and we have to consider, we have to take the average of this one, 111, first one. We have to take the average of this one, and 2 we have to take the average of this one as well, right? So this is what we'll be doing here. Select output, we have to select the project ID and we have to calculate the average years here in this case. So these are the 4 steps we'll be going with mainly. This is the approach that we'll be going with. First one, join tables. Second one, group data. Third one is round result, and fourth one is select output. So these are the 4 steps that we'll be going with, or this is the approach that we'll be going with. Now let's start writing the query. So first step, we have to select the project ID, right? So I'll just go with the select keyword here. This one, project ID, I'll just give here p dot project underscore ID, and we have to round off to 2 decimal places, if you remember. So we have to calculate the average experience as well as and round to 2 decimals here. So that's what we need to articulate that one in the form of query. So I'll just give here in this case round of average. So this one will be avg, average of e dot experience underscore years. So e dot experience underscore years in this case. So this one we go with, we have to round off to 2 decimal places. So I'll mention 2 here. So here this one is fine. So we'll be going with the alias as average years. So this one I'll just go with average years. This is fine. So this is coming from the project table. So from here in this case, project P here, from project P means it is coming from the project table, nothing but alias as P, right? So we'll be making use of alias as P here. After this one, we are going with the join, right? So we have to join the employee table on employee ID, if you remember the approach. So in the approach we discussed the same thing, right? We need to join the employee table on employee ID, then we will group by project ID. So we have to calculate the average per project, right? So these 2 things. First, let's join the employee table on employee ID. So I'll just go with here join employee E on P dot employee underscore ID equals E dot employee underscore ID. This is fine. So the final step here is we will group by project ID to calculate the average per project. So here this will be group by this one. Just give me a second here. P dot project underscore ID. This is fine. So this is it for the query. Let me hit the run button. I hope this works. Let's see. So yeah, you can clearly see here the sample test case is getting passed. Means let me hit the submit button. I hope this works for all the test cases. Let's see. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the query that we have written is works completely correct on this case, right? So I hope whatever the query that we have written is completely clear, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.